Bam. Hey, welcome to the Working Title podcast here on the Live the Dream Media Network, where every damn day we're living the dream.
We are living the dream.
We got our good
David,
friend
who
Clint
you got
Peake.
in there?
Who's in the meat locker
Who's in the
today?
meat locker?
It's your boy, Ron, the media mogul, Ron.
Ron
He's here.
Arenas, Picture Rocks Heating and Cooling, 440-4069, picturerockscooling.com.
Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you
Boy,
too,
we
Clinton.
roll back, and the time just flies, doesn't it?
It does. We're busy.
Yeah, we are.
We're doing good things.
What's going on?
If we weren't doing things we didn't like, time would go. If we're doing things we didn't like, time goes really slow.
Yeah.
That's why they would say, it goes slow in the pen, being in jail. So, not that I don't know about it. I don't know anything about that.
Never spent they never caught me.
Thank you very much, Dave. I need a horn for that at least. Thank you.
Quick story.
Yes, sir.
I'm out here. There was an event going on. I look at these couple of guys. It was more like law enforcement related, knives, stuff like that, holster stuff. Yeah, there was some law enforcement kind of theme to this whole event that was happening out here. And these two guys were looking at me, and I'm looking at them, and they're like, kind of a familiar thing. And I'm like, "What do you guys do?" Well, we're bounty hunters. We're not bounty hunters. We're they're parole officers by day, and then they're
bounty hunters
by night, I guess.
That's an HBO series.
Yeah.
We're going to write that.
And they said something to the effect, you look familiar. Have you ever been on? I'm like, you guys never caught me.
I love it.
0 on the record, big guy.
I love it.
Yeah.
This is Clint Peake. I don't know if you guys know Clint or not. Him and his lovely wife own Copy Creek Cookies and Chili Hot Dogs.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Is there a name to the hot dog line?
We'll see. Life is kind of moving around. Are you going to come sling dogs? Are you going to
I
come
would love to sling
wieners?
dogs with you. I would love to sling wieners with you. It'd be an honor. We could do a wiener day where we just promote it on Wake Up and Live the Dream.
And that might be it.
And me, you, and Dave are slinging wieners. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that might be how we approach this.
We should sling wieners at Rockin' for Heroes.
We should do that. Rockin' for Heroes. November 10th, if memory serves me correct.
Definitely Veterans Day weekend. Yeah. I know that.
November 10th.
Okay. Very nice.
Which will be nicer than last year, honestly, because it was still hot.
October was overly super hot last year.
Yeah, by November we're in safe territory.
Now this October, hopefully go back to normal temperatures. It'll be fine, but November will be.
David and I talked this morning about that. You were up real early. Was it not awesome when you got up this morning, temperature-wise?
So again, the little, the sun's coming up a little later, right? Mm-hmm. As I said yesterday, I was using my garden hose to to water the basil and stuff, and it didn't come out like boiling water. Yeah. It was only lukewarm. And I said, winter.
We're getting there close.
So once I felt the water coming, I put my sweater on. Right, I put on my with all the little leaves on it, and had a pumpkin latte. Yeah, it was beautiful.
That's good. That's good. We're not there. Let's just.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. Hey, we're 2/3 of the way through summer. How about that?
We're done. We got about 2 weeks left of summer. Let me tell you something. Once low temperature hits anything in the 60s, you're fine. When you wake up, it's still in the 70s.
October 1st at the earliest.
That's Yuma. Come on.
It's still hot. It was 103 yesterday, Chris.
It's fine.
Dog days.
It's fine. We're fine. So I teased it last week that I always torture you with crappy personality quizzes. Yeah. We're gonna find out which Looney Tunes character you are in the end. So what's been one of my dreams this month to find out. So the boys are going with Elmer Fudd. Is that what they said? I think. So Elmer Fudd for Mr. Clint. So we'll see.
Yeah.
In a
perverted sort of way, perverted, warped. I kind of look forward to this little thing. I'm like, when you start it, I'm like, because they pop up in your feed all the time.
Always.
Never have I ever taken one, to my knowledge. You've taken me outside my comfort zone, my friend.
What do you where do you think you'd like to land?
I don't know.
If there was a Looney Tunes character that you'd like to be, who would it be?
I don't know. I'll think about that a little later as we get into that. Yeah, I'm probably a mixture of all of them. The Looney dudes. And you know what drives me? This does drive me nuts. People take these tests. That's great. If you got time to do that, that's great. But then they publish it on Facebook.
Of course.
Like, look at my animal spirit. And I'm like, are you? Yeah. No, I'm not going to go there.
I'm a lazy trash panda, according to my celebrity quiz.
Yeah, I'm going to be nice.
So we're going to have our first thing I want to talk about is you've hired people in the past. I've hired people. We've hired people in the past. Ron and Dave have hired people. What is automatic turnoffs? When you're meeting a candidate, what's a turnoff for you?
That's a great question.
Yeah, let me prime the pump for you.
Yeah, do.
Anything that's an overly visible tat that's anywhere on the neck or face area.
Yeah, okay.
That's an automatic turnoff.
No offense, but
or anything overly tatted.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about this is going to be very bad profiling. To me, when I see overuse of tobacco products, right? I've hired a lot in not just marketing, but the tourism industry. And that's also just another turnoff.
And I was a long-time smoker.
Yeah.
I quit 15, 16 years ago. So, but yeah absolutely. Someone, and this is just true in life in general, someone that uses the word I a lot. I'm not a big fan of that.
That's true.
I know that's kind of tough in an interview when you're talking about yourself not to use the word I. But
sounds like one of your favorite state senators. Let's go into the meat locker.
What do you guys
got? Ron, you've hired some people, and you're like, what's an automatic turnoff when a candidate comes for an interview for you?
Yeah, I think one of the first things is just to be on time or be early. Yeah.
Well, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Come on.
Look at Sam. Look at him. It's true, right? They come in and 20 minutes late, and they're like, what's up, bro?"
Yeah. If they're 20 minutes late, then we're not even talking.
No.
Interview's over.
Yeah.
You're not installing my cable for Comcast. You don't have a 5-hour window.
Hey, Ron, I'm going to give you one exemption to the rule, although it did not work out well. That person's, but they had they were like on Eastern Central Time, and they missed it by exactly an hour. So you kind of go, okay, they were still on Central Time.
You got pulled in by, fooled by that sucker line?
No, and it was.
Are you one of those guys when you were in college that you thought the stripper liked you? That's what this feels like.
Now, having traveled throughout numerous time zones, I always stayed on my time zone. You can't adjust it when you're traveling on a regular basis. I can't adjust every time zone.
So if you're hiring a trucker who just came in from Spokane.
But David knows which one I'm talking about. It was exactly, I was on Central Time, so.
I could see that that'd be the exemption, though. I mean, it'd be one out of 1,000 people.
Yeah. And she was, by the way, it was a she, so I just eliminated half the population. She was about 10 minutes early to that time, so.
Right. So
now,
in her mind, she was early.
She was early, yeah. Even though she was 50 minutes late. Then David remembers that incident, I'm sure.
Yeah, he does.
Ryan, any other things other than late for you in relation to a turnoff for a candidate coming in for a job? Whoa.
I would think just coming from old school practices, just the way you dress and the way you present yourself. And there's different applications. If you're coming in for a blue collar, like a technician position, then you don't have to dress in a suit and tie. But if you're coming in for maybe like a sales position or executive position, then you definitely want to be dressed and present yourself in that manner.
Absolutely.
Kind of dress like you would be ready to go to work.
Of course, like as if they were going to hand you the job. Because there,
there's been more than once that I interviewed as a younger person. They're like, "When can you start?" And it's always like, "Right now, if you need me."
How about things you see in resumes that bother you? What's your red flags in resumes? So what I see sometimes is I saw this in the hospitality world. They're working for too many different corporate entities, right? And we always saw that as I now have to deprogram this person of bad training. For the, this person may be not worth all the extra effort. Yes, Ronald.
Yeah, I was going to say that there's a lot of guys that just jump around, and every 9 months to 12 months they're at different place. So they're doing the same job, like being a technician or whatever, but they're jumping maybe for 50 cents more an hour, or the boss isn't treating them fairly or whatever, they want to say about it. But
and that's also where you see that's why as an employer, you do have to investigate that resume a little bit. You do have to make some calls. You just can't take it, especially nowadays, because the job skipping is so crazy, especially in the restaurant world, right? Where I like guys like Rocco or Juan at Taco Rustico have told me these stories of people who have shown up for, well, first of all, if they schedule 10 interviews for a new something, 9 of them don't show up, right? But at the same time, when they hire someone, they work for 2 days, quit, and then go, give me my money. Right?
Yeah.
How many times are they doing that?
Yeah, they do.
They've done that to you too?
Oh, yeah.
2 days. We're not waiting for the next pay. Yeah. We're not waiting for whenever payday is. It's like, I'm quitting. Give me my money.
You know what's cool about what we do? For the most part, there really are no jobs. I say it this way. We don't have any jobs, but we've got a lot of opportunity. And for the most part, most people here, you get paid on what you do, not how much time you spend here. Now, hey, we're not dummies. If we see somebody spending a lot of time, they're putting a lot of effort in, but we'll make sure they're compensated in some form.
I had a very good friend who may have not done a radio show with me, but he we really met in the wake of the 08 crash. And he had 3 businesses, pretty decently employee heavy. And what happened was I got to watch him suffer through the unwinding of 3 different businesses, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, he was like, I don't want any, I want as least amount of employees as possible, because it was so tough, just not the human drama of having people get laid off or things like that, just the average drama of employee stuff in the midst of all that. And so I've got we all have friends like that who said, I like making money. I need to make money, but I want to do it with, if I can, no employees.
The least amount of people involved.
Right.
That are definitely. David, jump in here real quick. I know you don't have a mic, but that's kind of our new MO is I've always felt like life should be that way. Hey, Chris, if you show up and you're killing it, you should get a big piece of the pie when it's being split up.
Right.
If you show up and you're not killing it, you're not getting much of the pie, if any of it. I know life can't work that way, but it should. It really should work based on
also off the 08
skill,
crash,
knowledge.
Everyone understands gig economy. Right? And so part of that gig economy is you're working multiple things where you may not be an employee with anything. You're working these strategic partnerships to make money and keeping, force income streams going at one time, just in case if one ever disappeared, you still got 3.
Especially in my 20s, I worked a lot of jobs. My resume might have only said one thing, but I had 2 or 3 things going all the time.
Yep. Well, you're a hustler.
But
you're a hustler.
It was for money, but it was also for.
I mean, hustler in a good way.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't say call you a grifter. I mean, a hustler that you work your ass off.
You've been the same way. You got more than one revenue stream at all times. I mean, I do believe in put all your eggs in one basket and then watch the basket, but I can have a couple of baskets I'm watching.
I'm a multiple basket guy.
Yeah, I am too.
So. Did you still want David to? I stepped on David.
Yeah. Jump in here, David. With what we're talking about, how do we do it in the past, and how do we looking to do it in the future with employees and people that are working with us?
Yeah, I mean, you touched on it, but giving them that ownership of things, right? Like they're all all the podcasters and stuff that are coming, they own those programs. That's their thing that they own. So the success of it comes them too. Like we can't just sit here and go, oh, we're going to carry you all the way through. They understand and know that they need to help carry the show and do things to benefit them and Live the Dream Media and its success.
Yeah, I mean it's compelling content plus helping spread the word, market.
And David and I, we've discussed this a lot. David and I have known each other now for a long time. We've spent hundreds, if not thousands of hours talking about this. We're really looking for that 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 5,000, and that doesn't mean that I only think that there's 1 in 100 or 1 in 1,000 that are they're skilled and capable. But it might not. You might be the coolest person on the planet, but what we're doing doesn't line up.
Right.
So even though you're awesome, I love you.
Sure.
But we don't line up with each other. Well, you know what? Go be free and do your thing somewhere else. We need, as individuals, that's why we love working with you, Chris. Is we're all on like the and you too, Ron. We're all like in that same mix.
Yeah.
But we own each portion. David and I are partners, and yet we own our own.
Having a majority of common values
Exactly
helps.
It really helps.
That's part of a good
But we don't have to hit them all. Just a majority.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we can get 7 out of 10 or 6 out of 10, and we're pulling the same direction, those other 4 really don't matter to me. Well, actually, all I need is one strong one, really.
Right.
Is that fair enough to say?
Sure.
And if you and I really feel strongly about one thing, let's go.
So our next topic, and you can hit us in the comments, and Dave and Ron will take care of you there. We haven't had this conversation. Here we are in the podcast world. Live the Dream Media podcasting. What's some podcasts you like that have nothing to do with Live the Dream Media that you listen to on a semi-regular basis? And again, message us through whatever you're watching us on right now. We'd love. It's kind of like we have these discussions on Wake Up about what's a good streaming series you're watching.
Yeah.
So what's a few good
what
ones you like?
What are you? Let me throw it back at you first, because I've got one, and it's one that a lot of people are into. But what do you like? What are you listening to? What are you watching?
So we'll do a little quid pro quo like Clarice and Dr. Lecter. I like things that I get smarter on, but I like things that make me laugh also. Mm-hmm. So I really like Dana Carvey and David Spade have two. They have one called Fly on the Wall. The other one's called Superfly. But basically, listening to those two guys riff on a variety of things. And they just interviewed Dennis Quaid about the new Ronald Reagan movie. All I did was laugh for an hour and 5 minutes.
I did see part of that.
Right? Seriously, I was listening to it working out yesterday, and as I'm working out, literally I'm laughing out loud. And people's like, "Oh, that nut's laughing again."
Keep an eye on him. Today is the day the day cracks. No, I like watching Joe Rogan. I'm not going to say I watch him every day, but
what do you like about Rogan?
I just love the rawness of what they talk about. I mean, he's had I'll tell you somebody else that I watch, not on a regular, but as Bill Maher. I just like. I mean, he's just kooky.
I've been watching Bill Maher with Quentin Tarantino this week.
I've seen bits of that myself.
And there's some good stuff in that.
And they're both kooky as they can be, and yet it's entertaining. You laugh out loud every now and then.
I wasn't expecting Quentin Tarantino to talk about how he really thinks one of the most perfect trilogies of films, because most of them stink, is Toy Story.
I didn't see that part.
Yep, and he said how he goes, never watched Toy Story 4 because you don't need to, because it was ended perfectly on Toy Story 3.
Just leave it a trilogy then.
Correct. Right? So I thought that was kind of cute.
Quentin, I've seen him more than once on some different things. Quirky dude, by the way.
I love listening to Quentin talk about stuff.
But I love to hear him talking about life. And again, it's
he
one
has
of those
a podcast where him and this guy watch some movie and then rap about it.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because he's so exaggerated and he's talking real loud.
But he loves every kind of movie, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. And things that you don't expect him to like, he's talking about with all this energy.
Yeah.
He's a little manic.
You mentioned streaming and stuff. This isn't podcasts, but I tell you what I love watching is like the History Channel, and they've got a couple of things. One of them produced by Derek Jeter right now, and it's like the Legends of Build America. And the one that grabbed me that I've watched 2 or 3 times is the one about shock jocks, and it's about Rush Limbaugh and Howard Stern.
Sure.
And how they became the personalities that they became. Against all odds, by the way.
Of course.
Because at that time, when they were both getting into the industry, was shut up and play the record.
The sadly pathetic county attorney of Pima, Laura Conover, has referred to me as Shock Jock Radio on Wake Up Tucson. Which I'm like, say what? I don't have any lesbians throwing bologna slices at each other. What's going on here?
Another one right now that's just out on the History Channel is and it's a deep dive on Walt and Roy Disney and Disneyland and Disney World and the whole
This is
Disney.
so weird. So History Channel content that's not aliens or Nazis?
It was really weird.
That's unbelievable.
It was. Yeah, because there's a lot of. Yeah,
Look at them
God knew
getting
I
out of
couldn't watch the History Channel. It's like, whoa,
Look
come
at them
on.
getting outside their lane.
Yeah, really good stuff. Tammy and I just finished the 6th episode of that one. Really deep stuff about Roy that I just and Walt that I had no clue. A lot of it's. Here's one.
Yes.
You know how they made most of their money and continue to make a ton of their money? The Disney Corporation.
Where's that?
Through merchandising.
Gotta be.
They're doing $61 billion annually in merchandising.
It's everywhere, right?
And that was what sustained them early on because Walt was spending an enormous amount of money to make the movies and all this stuff because he was a perfectionist. Roy was the money guy and would find, and they got a guy, his name was Camden. I don't want to give anything away, but he signed on as their marketing guy or their merchandising guy. Because in the beginning, anybody that signed up could just do anything they wanted with Mickey or anything, and it was a disaster. But this dude figured it out. The $61 billion a year, Chris.
Think about it. There's Disney freaking toilet seats.
Yeah.
So the other one I like is called Trigonometry. Give it a watch. It's this guy Konstantin Kitsin, who originally was from Soviet Union, Russia, moved to England, and he and this guy, I forgot what the name of his partner, some of the best interviews on some of the biggest issues out there that just very reasonable. Constantine came on
Trigonometry.
And Constantine was at Oxford at some debate where they were talking about global warming, and he went through this huge thing about how he really came on
trigonometry
on the scene, talking about global warming and how until you get the underdeveloped countries with a zillion people that don't do anything, just that's China and India. Stop wasting our time. Right? Because they're responsible for most of it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's something where I go. So Trigonometry, watch it. Guy's good.
Yeah,
he does good work. The
cool thing about all this is, Chris, is and David and Ron in the locker, is the cool thing about the new technology, at least for me, is everybody now has a voice. You start with one.
There's a truckload of voices, like multitudes of voices.
More voices than ever.
So again, this goes back to, we always say, have your niche.
Yeah.
You got to find your niche. Yeah. What else? What's another one you like?
Well, I'll watch Dave Ramsey.
Okay.
It's almost like he's preaching to the choir when it comes to me, but I like his riff. And apparently a whole bunch of other people do too.
He's still one of the biggest shows in America right now.
What was the guy, and I'm just drifting off here, what was the guy's name that used to be on? His name was Clark, and he used to give a bunch of financial advice. Whatever happened to him? Clark?
I don't know.
He was on all the time.
So what's the other one I was going to say is I like a guy named Critical Drinker. He's this Scottish guy who does kind of movie streaming series reviews, but then talks about kind of the culture and also a lot of the woke stuff that's getting drilled into media right now. And I think he's a pretty entertaining bloke.
I'm going to have to get your list and start broadening my horizons a little bit.
That's why we're having this discussion. Yeah. What about the boys in the meat locker? What do you guys podcasting wise? What do you guys like?
I know David's quite a podcaster in there.
Diary of a CEO by Steve Bartlett.
Diary of a CEO by Steve Bartlett. Remind people who Steve Bartlett is.
He's a young entrepreneur from the UK region. Did a lot of marketing, advertising company stuff. He is well known for a blue slide that he had inside of the first building he got.
Oh, okay.
And that was a huge draw for the success. So people started hearing about the blue slide in his place, and he would start getting people coming in because of the blue slide. So the Blue Slide became this immense lead generator for his business, even though it had nothing to do with
What kind of business did he have, David?
Marketing and advertising.
Yeah, so we're playful SOBs here at the Blue Slide Company.
Mm-hmm.
So the podcast where you're sitting, Chris, is a blue slide.
It is. I can feel it right now. I can feel it. I can feel it tickling my nether regions. The slide right now. Feeling good.
What you got, Ron?
I don't have too much. I listened to a podcast called Smartless. And I've listened to a couple other, mostly business podcasts.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Me too. I mean, we should probably listen to stuff that's a little more fun. Hey, I'll tell you something else I listen to a lot.
Yes.
Is Live the Dream Media and Local Marana. And I don't. Well, here's the reason why. David engineers most of these, or Raul engineers most of these, and I don't watch most of them. I self-confess. But I will watch them afterwards. And we've got some exciting podcasters on. Like Veronica yesterday, I couldn't understand half of it because it was in Spanish.
We are shameless pluggers on this whole thing.
But I want to support the people obviously that are on the channel.
Yep.
But on the same token, that gives me a better chance to view it not almost, but as just a typical person tuning into the channel.
Gotcha.
Was really impressed by Raul's podcast with Coach David. Help me out, Coach. The Raul had super. Yes,
Skern.
Yeah, yeah. That was really cool to see that. There was a little technical issue at the beginning that David was able to fix for all future podcasts. So I was able to see, and I was watching it as a watcher. Not as I didn't watch it live. On full disclosure, I was taking a nap.
Thank you. I did my senior year of high school was at Sabino, and Jeff was the coach.
How cool!
When I was there.
Very cool. So that was cool to watch it as a viewer going, oh my gosh, because there was an echo in the beginning. I'm sure David's freaking out in the studio, and David had it fixed by the first break, David, or something like that?
At the 9-minute mark?
Yeah. No, he knows exactly where it was. 9:13 in the minute mark. And the cool thing is, I'm going to say to David, what a surgeon he was showing it earlier this morning, but that problem is now fixed forever.
The other thing that I like, of course, is some of the political stuff I get into just a little bit. People think because I do a talk show,
right, that you do that all day long. Yeah, come on.
I can't do it.
No.
I can't do it. So, like Tucker can be good based on the guest.
Right.
I can't listen to Tucker all the time, but like the one he just did with RFK, pretty good. No, I can't listen. Ben Carson's a very smart guy, but I can't listen. Ben, I don't know why. It's his delivery or something.
Yeah.
But there was one spot from Carson I liked where he said about this election. The media is gaslighting the country right now on Ms. Harris.
Yeah.
And is the American people that stupid, basically,
the answer
in a
is
way, to buy this gaslighting of a universally disliked person up until the time that they pushed Joe down the stairs? Right?
That whole thing's been almost surreal, hasn't it?
But you literally have media on both sides are always... the left-right thing is real. The objective journalist is like a unicorn.
Yeah.
Right?
That's why I think what we do, and a lot of these voices here, it's so valuable because let's cut out look, I don't care if you're left or right. If you're corporate America, you're running a TV, radio station, newsprint, whatever, the people at the front, the people that are anchors or reporters, they're not given the freedom we have right here to say what we want.
Yeah.
You're reading up script or you're looking for a new job, plain and simple. We're going to talk to you once about this, Chris. You went off script. You go find a new job tomorrow.
Yeah.
That is not what the Fourth Estate that's not its role. And I don't say that we're there yet, but that's part of our aspiration.
So you got to educate,
be honest with each other,
and then call out when calling out is warranted.
Just be honest.
Yeah.
I want you just to read if it's news. Right,
and you got to connect the dots too, right? Because if you just see a story that just in that one little space of time, But then you don't realize, this is what we do, I think, well on Wake Up, is we'll tell you how this happened with similar folks 7 different times before we got to here.
Hey, right? Is it fair enough to say that most of the journalists in our lifetime are left-leaning? Is that fair enough to say? I mean,
yes.
That's just the reality of it. People that are getting into journalism tend to be more left-leaning.
They've done a variety of surveys and polls of journalists where they've admitted it.
Probably early days, maybe 60-40. It's probably 80-20 now, if not more. That's just the reality. But when the old school guys, and I'm going back to the Cronkites and people like that, I don't know what Walter Cronkite's politics were, but I know I didn't know it from what he said to me.
Right. Well, so that's why locally, Dan Shearer, my guy from the Green Valley News, he comes on every other Wednesday. He was on this morning. You don't know what his political slant is.
Yeah.
And he does amazing stories on everything, him and his crew over there.
You know, David and I shouted ourselves out a while ago, and I'm proud to say this, and I mean it 100%. I am a hardcore independent. People are like, because you can't make up your mind. I said, no, it's because I have made up my mind. I have conservative leanings, especially when it comes to finance, right? I think that's where it all starts. If we can take care of the money, a lot of these other problems don't become problems. Fair enough? That's why inflation, cost of good. I was talking to someone I know the other day who is, and he's a little older than I am, so that makes him really old.
Yes.
Hardcore liberal. Hardcore. I've known him for close to 20 years, and we've had some heated exchanges, but it never affected our friendship. How about that?
Sure.
Right? And he was saying something to me the other day about it cost him and his wife, again, they're seniors, they're in their early 70s, $250 a week to eat. And he's mad. And he's dropping names that I never thought I'd hear him say. And he was dropping them all like, they don't care about us, Clint. I'm like, no, thanks for coming to the party. Right? Welcome to reality.
The question is there a critical mass of Americans that have been affected like that will not buy the gaslighting of the American media?
I don't know.
That's going to be
Chris.
That's going to be where we're at.
And again, to me, this isn't a left or right thing. It's forward or backward. We're either moving forward or we're falling behind. To me, it's never been a left or right thing. What's the right thing to do is always the right thing to do, right?
In the end, is what's the role of government, right? And so what we saw during the COVID years, our good friend at the show, Charles Heller, asks every candidate, I'll keep saying it over and over again, what is the primary purpose of government according to the Arizona State Constitution? And you know what it is? It's to protect the rights of its citizens.
Exactly. That's the First Amendment, Second Amendment, right on through there.
Right. And so do you think that the people in these governments, how many of them really believe that their job as a government official, an elected official, is to protect your rights?
I'd say it's a tiny percentage that actually believe that.
It's true. So in the
based on performance. So how about that?
So what they think their job is to suck in the money into a budget, and they're going to use their brains and whoever they've been manipulated by to spend hundreds of millions or billions of dollars based on what they think is right. Yeah. That's what they think their number one job is.
It's all about power.
Money, power, vanity, but mostly it's about the money.
Well, power comes first. If you got the power, then all the money you can extract.
It's about money. Money first.
I think it's power.
There are people who don't care about the power, who just want to make the money.
But the money comes with the power. So if somebody's got the power,
they know how to manipulate.
But if you've got the power, you're going to get the money. That's just the reality of it is.
Yep.
Money can buy power, but I believe it. You may say it's power's second and money's first, but I'm going to say it's the other way around. But you know what? The 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Or 1A, 1B.
So to wrap up,
greed is a bad thing. It says in the Bible it's the root of all evil. So maybe money is number one then.
So in the middle of this, so that's back to motivations.
Exactly.
Right? So what's the motivations? And the motivations for most people before it's power is the dough.
Mm-hmm.
It's always about the
small thinking.
Yep, but that's why we're at back to faith family schools. Yeah. That's a whole other thing. So anyway, podcast.
Say it again. Faith family schools. That's one of my favorite podcasts of all times, and it's not gone completely away. It's just resting.
That's right. It's like your grandpa in the corner. I'm just resting my eyes.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of podcasts out there, and get smart on things.
Yeah.
Right. There's personalities, but also just go into there's podcasts on YouTube, Spotify. Put in any subject matter you want to get better at, and there's probably something to listen to.
What was it, David? We read the other day, and I showed you, what was it? 75% of Americans in the last month have watched a podcast. Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. That's a pretty big number.
Makes sense.
Adults. We're talking adults now.
So one of the reasons on Wake Up I've been so hyper-local, right, on the show is that the competition is, if I do something that's a local show that talks about national, there's a zillion other things that do national.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So that's why Wake Up Tucson has been like this.
Well, you're the only one, really, aren't you? I mean, I'm the only locally
person in Tucson doing drive. There's some weekend shows.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
But you're a day.
Right? There's a show after me, Jump in Tucson, which is all local people.
Yeah. But you've been doing this since what, 08?
09.
09?
Yep.
So Monday through Friday, 6 to 9, KVOI?
It's true. It's all true. KVOI.com if you want to stream it, or on fine streaming services.
Yeah, and you know what? You mentioned earlier, you got to have a niche.
It's all about it. If you're going to talk about general stuff, you better have a hell of a name.
You better be really entertaining.
Right, and you better be marketing the living crap out of it with lots of money.
Yeah.
If you really want to, if you're going to do I'm going to do Chris Talks Politics.
Yeah. But can I throw this at you real quick? Go ahead. And let's say you're sitting at home. Somebody right now is listening to this going, I'd like to get into a podcast. Because a lot of people actually say that anymore.
They say it to me all the time. Say it to me all the time.
Podcast. Okay. And you don't have, I heard Gary Vee say it this way. You can make money in anything. He goes, you're a Smurf collector. Right? Talk about Smurfs.
Sure.
Hey, let me ask you a question. You already know the answer to this. Why do you think I put my little W up every time the Cubs win?
Why?
Why do I do that? One, they won. Everybody that knows me on Facebook knows one thing about me.
You're a Cub fan.
They know I'm a Cub fan.
Yep.
And I'm going to be it's going to be ad nauseum because I don't care if you're a Cub fan or not. I don't care if you're a baseball fan.
There is truth. It becomes part of your personal branding in a way, right?
That's all it is.
So,
and I love cheering them on. Don't get me wrong.
So I'm known as a progressive rock fan, especially.
You do the same with that,
right?
Yes.
And what happens is there's people like literally will text me. They're like, "I'm in a bar in San Diego and Roundabout's playing, and for some reason I'm thinking of you."
See,
right?
See,
hey, listen more. Yes, your life will be better. For God's sakes.
If you're you're a Rush fan too.
Yes.
I did not know this about Getty.
Baseball.
Yeah, I posted that the other day.
Yeah, it's all over the place.
The baseball collection, that this man has. I'm not envious about many things.
I mean, this is the guy who started off, you got more excited, I guess, when the Blue Jays started, probably, right? Yeah. The great Lloyd Mosby and everybody.
Yeah.
But
Joe Carter and
he loves baseball.
Oh man, that guy! I was shocked that he had a collection that was like second to none. I'm sure.
Tomorrow's battle of the bands on Wake Up Tucson is power trios. It's the Police versus Rush.
There you go.
So we're not messing around.
6 to 9.
Thank you. All right, it's time.
Here we go.
Time for Mr. Clint's.
Let the cringing begin.
What cringing? This is people. You have, I don't know if you know this. You are sometimes a wallflower, and people don't know enough about you.
Said no one.
Everyone's personality matches a Looney Tunes character.
Okay.
Which one are you?
Let's go.
So the boys are going with Elmer Fudd.
What? Give me a few options. Looney Tunes. I mean, what are some of my options?
Well, of course,
I'll go with Fudd. Come on. I'll go with that. So, I mean, the reason why I say that, a lot of my cartoon characters in my brain are mixed together because you got Hanna Barbera.
Here's Hanna Barbera, right? So here's your big ones, right? Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Elmer Fudd, Porky Pig, Foghorn. I say Foghorn Leghorn, Marvin the Martian.
Yeah.
I am so angry right now. Sylvester and Tweety.
Yeah.
Yosemite Sam.
I could go. There's Yosemite sounds like popping off all the time.
Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah. Okay, let's find out. I don't have.
And then if we really want to get canceled, Speedy Gonzalez.
I don't have a favorite.
Pepe Le Pew.
Although I'm going to confess right now, I do still on occasion watch a cartoon.
I watch cartoons all the time.
I watch typically something like the Flintstones.
Sure.
Or the Jetsons.
Okay.
Because I can get them easily for free.
I'm going to go Yosemite Sam with you.
I could see that.
Okay.
Popping off.
That's what.
So we got Elmer and we got Yosemite. Okay, let's find out.
All right. Pick something for breakfast. Believe it or not, I'm going to drive you crazy. There's 6 choices to each
here
one.
we go.
French toast sticks, blueberry pancakes, scrambled eggs, breakfast sandwich, waffles, donuts. French toast sticks.
Yeah, I'll go scrambled eggs.
Scrambled eggs.
I like pretty much everything you mentioned there.
Something for lunch. Dave Samorano's salad that I screwed him on today. He's going to be eating. Chicken nuggets, tacos, pizza, mac and cheese, sub sandwich.
Pizza.
Okay. Dinner. Spaghetti, meatloaf, steak, pulled pork sandwich.
There you go.
Paella or beef stroganoff.
I'll go with the pulled pork sandwich.
You and Tammy make the best pulled pork sandwich I've had. Yeah. Pick a color.
Okay. Green.
Got it. Pick an animal. Kangaroo, cheetah, bear, bald eagle, sloth, otter. Kangaroo, cheetah, bear.
Bald eagle.
Bald eagle. Ooh, that's so Yosemite Sam. No, just kidding. Pick a random word. Rival, bouncy, fluffy, yellow, crazy, unusual.
I'm going to go fluffy because my wife, I can hear whatever that movie is. It's so fluffy I could die.
That's Despicable Me, the first one, when the little girl goes, "It's so fluffy."
Yeah, I've never seen that, but my wife says that all the time. My daughter, too.
Pick a TV show. SpongeBob, Bob's Burgers, Phineas and Ferb, Futurama, Rugrats, or Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo.
Okay. Pick a cookie. Dark chocolate, chocolate chip, snickerdoodle, oatmeal raisin, peanut butter, chocolate chip.
Oatmeal raisin.
Okay. That's very Elmer Fuddish.
Yeah.
Pick a movie genre. Horror, sci-fi, comedy, action, family, romance.
What were they again?
Horror, sci-fi, comedy, action, family, or romance.
Yeah. Where's film noir at?
No noir. Sorry, Sam Spade.
Yeah.
Horror, sci-fi, comedy.
I'll go comedy. Just the opposite of the dark, long shadow.
Pick a picture of a bunny. Which one of those bunnies do you like the best?
That one looks upset right there.
Bottom left.
Yeah, I'm not going that one. I'll go.
This one.
I don't. Yeah.
This one.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, that's fine.
That one really looked upset.
It's like the bunny from Python.
Yeah.
Pick a day of the week. Any of them.
Sunday. Be there.
Can we get a drum roll, please, on the Looney Tunes character that Clint Peake is most like psychologically and psychiatrically is Daffy Duck.
I'll say. No, that's some
that's
Daffy.
Despicable.
Daffy? Yeah, it's just so fluffy.
So anyway, okay. Clint Peake is the psychological match to Daffy Duck
and Princess Kate.
Yeah, Princess Kate. That's right. Kate Middleton and Daffy Duck.
Yeah, that's me, baby.
This is the multifaceted Clinton Peake of Copper Creek Cookies and LTD Media. Well,
that didn't come out the way I would have. Daffy Duck? Are you kidding me right now? It must have been the picking of the bunny.
A team of psychologists came up with this amazing. Yeah. Well, another working title in the can, garbage can for some,
yeah,
movie can for others.
Yeah.
So
new lunch plans. D Train is is taking the D train, I guess, somewhere else this afternoon.
Just got some things I got to take care of. So we are going to head to the Highlands. I'll take you guys for pizza.
Okay.
And
hey, David, Ron, thank you guys. Appreciate
Thank you, sir.
it. That was a fast hour, wasn't it?
Yeah, it sure was.
Yeah, we're a little short.
I know we want to. What are we doing, David?
What are we doing?
They're talking about, or David's talking about stopping by for some Vera Earl beef sticks.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Those are the ones. So you were interviewing the nice people from Vera Earl Ranch before we came in. The sticks are on the thing, right?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. Thank you.
I didn't think Dave was going to share it because he grabbed them like Gollum with the one ring and ran to the meat line.
Dude.
Slammed the door.
Dude, come on.
Yeah, maple.
Wow. Man, that's good.
That's pretty good.
Wow.
These are the kids. You're not supposed to eat on the mic.
Lunch is served.
So these are the kids down in Sonoyta, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So where in Sonoyta do you go? I know the ranch is off to the right. Do they have a retail space?
Yeah, front office of the building.
So that's off to the right in front of the ranch. That's not separate from the ranch.
It's in the heart of the ranch.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Her words exactly. Mm-hmm. It's in they got 200,000 acres.
It's amazing. I love going down there. Like I said, my very good friend Joe has a ranch in Patagonia.
Okay.
So I'm down there more often than the average bear. So about 5-6 weeks ago, me and the cattle dog went down there, and we met him in Sonoyta. They had the Sonoyta farmers market going on in the corner there in front of the ice cream coffee place, and got some stuff there. And then in that Callahan Vineyards is the Pronghorn Pizza place, which is the food's great. Love
What's
the food.
The weather down there this time of year?
Always cooler. It's always cooler. Better elevation, so. But Pronghorn Pizza, and you can bring your dog in because they have the tasting room with the cement floors. So, and they got they got like a Arizona room patio that just looks out on the grasslands.
We're going to go down there. Tammy and I have been looking for a little day trip. That's our next day trip. Down to that part of the world.
Perfect.
With a cooler. So we can bring home some meat.
Absolutely.
Bring home the beef, baby.
But go to Pronghorn. You'll love it. It's very good.
Tell me how to get there.
You don't even have to get the wine. Just get the pizza. You'll be just fine. I have mild issues with Arizona wine. As in, I don't think it's that good. But that's a whole other story. Anyway, everyone, thank you for joining us at the Working Title. Thanks to the Vera Earl Ranch. Look at that. Snap into the Slim Jim like Randy Macho Man Savage's.
Thanks for sharing, David. That's good.